Most people think living in the Philippines is either extremely cheap or stupidly expensive. Today, I'm breaking down my real monthly budget living in Padoga, Leyte. Michael, and I live here in Leyte, Philippines. In this video, I'll share exactly how much I spent so far in January 2026, including rent, food, utilities, transportation, and extras. This is my real lifestyle, not luxury, not backpacker, just realistic daily living as a foreigner. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to take myself off screen and show you my budget Excel sheet, and I'll explain as I go how these work. Yeah, let's get into it. Um, First thing we're going to start off with is the biggest expense, which is housing. So for January 2026, my rent in Leyte, as you can see, was nothing for condo rent. Um, yeah, let me explain that. Guess I'll put myself back on screen. Yeah, don't pay anything for rent because I live with my partner at her mom's house at the moment here in Padoga. It's a barangay in Leyte. And we're staying here, so I don't have to pay rent, which is a good thing. All right, let's get back into it. Maybe I'll just make this smaller now, so you guys can see. Maybe myself over. Right? Yeah, that should be better. I'll just keep myself on screen so I won't have to keep going back and forth. Um. So anyway, yeah, my rent was nothing. This house is here, owned by her mother. So if you compare it to like living in the condo in Macon in Cebu, of course Leyte is much more affordable for me because I don't have to pay rent. I was paying 25,000 pesos per month when I lived in Macon, Newtown. Um, so if you have a girlfriend or a wife and parents that you get along with, and if you're flexible and patient, yeah, you can save on a lot living here. So let's move on to utilities. So here's what I paid in January. Water, I don't pay any water here. The water is they have a water pump that water comes from, and so they don't have to pay for water. They don't even pay city water. It comes directly from the well. Now, electricity was at 3,000 pesos, and the reason for that was actually it was probably over 5,000 pesos, and um, I had installed an air conditioner in this room in this bedroom that I sleep in, and now that I'm doing videos in, um, which I paid for, of course, and but the rest of the house doesn't have AC at all. And so the actual electricity was over 5,000 pesos. Because I use this room all the time, that's probably why it's more than usual. So I said, okay, I'll give them half. I use AC and I'm living here. Plus, I use electricity for internet and other things as well, right? Lights, everything. So I ended up giving them 3,000 pesos, giving her 3,000 pesos for rent. Actually, it was over like 5K total. All right, so let's move on to the next thing, which I have a cell phone. I don't have anything for cell phone on here because I don't pay for a data plan or anything here. We have Starlink internet, which I do pay the internet for, and so I'm on Wi-Fi all the time. The only need for my cell phone mobile data would be if I was to go somewhere, like if I was to go to immigration or I don't have access to Wi-Fi, and I would top up my phone. And but I haven't done that yet. I will probably need to do that soon because I need to go to immigration. I haven't topped up or anything yet, so I've spent nothing on the cell phone. like I said, if I do go somewhere, then yeah, I would end up topping up. And I believe it's 50, 51 or 61 pesos to top up my phone, which is like, I think 5 gigabytes of data and lasts for 3 days or something like that. Or sometimes I top it up to use as a backup in case there's, in case the power goes out due to brownouts, but I haven't done that at all this month so far, thank goodness. So yeah, that's that. So let's move on. Well, let me talk about this. Okay. Let me move on to groceries, which is next on the list. I was going to talk about internet first, because that kind of ties in with cell phone. But let's go ahead and talk about groceries. Okay, so in January 2026, I spent around 10,000 pesos on groceries. Food, food, which includes local meals, right? Groceries. Um, we don't go to, we don't get groceries so often. When we do, it's either at Naval or we get local food here at the market, like chicken or onions or things like that. Um, yeah, it's Western food. We don't really. I mean, if I get to Naval, I might get like Lay's barbecue potato chips, or I may get pizza or something, but not. It's more local food here. Um, we don't go. We don't eat out. All the, there's not really many places here to eat out at, unless you go to Naval or go to Calabian. So mostly it's cooking every day, and generally for Filipinos they cook fish. They buy fish locally here, and they cook fish and rice. But as a foreigner, I like hot dogs, so I get hot dogs whenever I go to Naval or have somebody bring it back from Naval. Um, Hot dogs, bacon, potatoes, French fries sometimes, um, things like that. Stuff that I'm like eating or that I'm used to. But local food is very affordable here compared to if you were to get Western items. Like I said, I don't get Western items, but if you do end up coming even to like Leyte in the province or end up living in a barangay, then if you go to a store, Western food is going to be more expensive than local food. For example, if you get the Heinz tomato ketchup, which I like because it's purely tomato, it's going to be more expensive because it's Western, it's Heinz, compared to getting like banana ketchup. It's going to be cheaper. If you get Skippy peanut butter, which is a brand from America, which I like, then it's going to be more expensive than if you get local peanut butter. So, of course, local food, of course, is more affordable than Western items. So, if you get lots of Western items like Lay's, like uh, Skippy peanut butter, like that, those kind of foods, then of course it's going to be more expensive than getting the Filipino brand, which will be more cheaper. If you eat mostly Filipino food, of course your budget is going to stay lower. But yeah, if you do crave imported items, which I do sometimes, expect your expenses to rise and go up. Um, Okay, so let's move on to next on the list, which is the internet. Um, we have Starlink here, and basically Starlink is 3,800 pesos per month. It's more expensive than what it was in Mactan Newtown with PLDT. In Mactan Newtown, I was paying 2,600 pesos per month, which was supposed to be fiber optic. And so it is a little bit more expensive, but it's also a lot quicker. And me and Melanie both work online, and so we need quick internet, especially me because I trade in the futures market. I teach English online. I work online as an ambassador in a Discord. I do other work, so need good internet. So yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. You can get internet cheaper. It depends really what you want. So this 3800 is probably on the higher range. You could probably get Globe Home for probably 1600 to 2K a month. Um, or you can get PLDT, which is fiber optic, for like 2600, like I was saying. But the Starlink, yeah, it's 3800 pesos per month. All right. So let's go. Oops. All right, so let's move on to the next item that is on the list, and that's transportation cost here in Leyte. So transportation costs here in Leyte is pretty low. Um, so like for January, I only have it down as 1,000 pesos, and the only reason that is because you don't really go anywhere unless you take a ferry and go to Naval. Is like I said, grocery shopping maybe once or twice a month. It's 100 pesos per person to go on the ferry. So if me and Melanie go alone, that's 200 peso one way, 200 pesos back, so 400 pesos times two, right? That's 800 pesos. So around 1,000 pesos for transportation. This month I do have to go to also go to immigration. So we'll have to get a jeepney to go to immigration, and then you take a van from not a jeepney to go to immigration. We'll have to get a tricycle to go to Calabian. I'm not sure what that costs. Maybe a couple of 100 pesos. But then we take a van to immigration. So I have to go from Calabian to Tacloban, which is a 3 hour ride in a van with other people. That costs 100 pesos per person. So again, 200, one way. If you take it back, it's 200 back. So in general, I'm guessing it's probably around 1,000 pesos this month for transportation. It could be a little bit more, or it could be a little bit less. Sometimes when I come back from Tacloban, I don't like sitting in a van with a lot of people. I get really cramped. I'm big. I'm a lot bigger than Filipinos. My legs get cramped when I get older, so I like to stretch my legs. And they pack that van full when they go to when they take people from uh, from Calabian to Tacloban. Yeah, so they try to pack it as they won't even go unless there's at least 6 people in the van, and then they pick up people on the way, so it can get really crowded. So sometimes I do a rental car, and of course that'll cost more if you pay a driver to come back. That's generally, I think it was like 1,500 pesos to take them back, but then you don't have these other people with you. Probably won't do that time because of my budget, but yeah, in general, I'd say probably 1,000 pesos per month. If you go to Naval twice a month, taking the ferry, otherwise have to go to immigration every other month. So that's why I put it as 1,000, but that can vary also for transportation. Alrighty, so let's move on to what's next on the list. So this is like daily life and extra stuff. So let's talk about that. Like haircuts and colors. This doesn't happen every month. And if I pay 200 pesos, somebody will come here and cut my hair on the porch, and it only costs 200 pesos to do so. I think it's actually like 150, but we end up giving 200. Um, if you compare that to Macton Newtown, I think my haircuts at Macton Newtown at the barber was like 350. If you get a collar, now hair collar, generally that would be included with the grocery part because we do it at home. Macton Newtown, I would go to somebody and have it done, like at the Tough Barbershop. I think that costs like 1,800 pesos to have your hair colored there. But here, there's no place to go, so we have to do it at home, which why I haven't done it for a while. But that would be a part of the groceries. I don't count that really separate because I just get haircuts now. I have it as when needed. Usually get a haircut probably once every 2 months, maybe. So that's that. And yeah. All right. So let's go on to the next thing that's on the list, which is credit card loan. I did take out a loan, and it's due every like once a month, and very small, and that's basically 1,837 pesos a month for a couple of months, and then it's done. Um, all right, so miscellaneous stuff, like I was saying, extra stuff like out to eat, movies, etc. We don't go out to eat. We don't go to movies. There's nothing here to go to. There's no movies to go to. There's no mall or anything to go to here as far as movies. If we go out to eat, it's rare. It's like if we go to Naval, maybe go to McDonald's or something, or go to Inasal, or get Jollibee. But if we go to Naval or Calabian, or not Calabian, Tacloban, when I go to immigration. But we rarely go out to eat. I have it as nothing because we haven't been out to eat. We don't go to movies or anything, so I haven't spent anything so far this month on miscellaneous stuff like out to eat or movies or stuff like that. Stay home. We watch Netflix. I have Streamio that I also watch, which is free. So um, yeah, didn't spend really anything on miscellaneous. Mel has Netflix, and we use that. Streamio doesn't cost me anything, so I didn't spend anything on miscellaneous items. Don't really have any unexpected expenses. Not this month anyway. Last month, well, maybe a couple of months ago when I first got here, I did with my leg, but not this month. Um, and so, all right. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. This is visa fees. Now, visa, I have to get my visa renewed every 2 months. So I talked about this already. That's going to Tacloban to do it. First, have to go to Calabian, have to take a van and go the van 3 hours to Tacloban, and then take a tricycle to immigration. And the visa fees are 3,800 peso. That's every 2 months. As you can see, it's still on the 28th. So I have to go next week. I think next week to get it renewed. And since it's due on January 28th, but that's 3,800 pesos when I do renew it every 2 months. Now, you also have an ACR card, which is the Alien Certificate of Residence that you have to have. You have to renew that once a year, and mine is still good from the last time I did it, and it's good until June. So when June comes around, that expense will go up too. I can't remember how much the ACR card is, like 3,000 to 5,000. But anyway, that will go up in June. But generally, it's around 3,800 pesos. They actually raised it. It went up 1,000 pesos from when I was in Macta Newtown. So it costs 1,000 pesos more. And that's overall, doesn't matter where you live in the Philippines. Generally, it's going to cost you about 4,000 pesos every 2 months to have your visa renewed now. And that's basically it. So the total was 23,637 pesos. Um, so yeah, that's the total amount. Living in the province can be a lot cheaper for you, but there's some things that you have to consider that you would be giving up when you move here. So the budget. So this budget, it looks real okay if you're living outside of major cities. If you're not living, it'd probably be more expensive if you were to live in Tacloban or Naval, or of course in Cebu, right? If you enjoy local food, it's going to be a good budget for you because you won't be buying a lot of expensive items like Western items, like I mentioned before. So if you enjoy local food, it's quite cheap here. So you can live decently on a good budget. If you value peace over nightlife, you could probably live here. Now, peace, if you want quiet, simplicity. If you want simplicity, okay, yeah, quiet. I mean, it can get really noisy here, but when I talk about peace over nightlife, I'm talking about not going out drinking every day or going to clubs or going to bars. First of all, there's none here, um, unless you drink at home. But like nightlife, like you won't be going to a club because there's no clubs here. Macton Newton even had a club right there for people that like going out and of course, drinking or dancing or something. They'd spend more money on alcohol in the nightclub than you would if you just drunk at home. So, so that's what I mean when I'm talking about peace over nightlife. If you want a slower, simpler lifestyle, for this budget, living in the province is probably better for you. Uh, it is a lot slower and it is a lot simpler than living in a major city. But if you want malls or nightlife, luxury condos, Leyte may feel, you know, not the right style for you. You would probably end up wanting to live in a major city like Cebu or Manila or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it for my lifestyle or budget here in the Philippines for January 2026. Um, Let me actually make myself bigger on the screen. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of it. Just wanted to show you the numbers, what it was for January. If you want more real numbers or honest expat life and Philippines content, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment if you want a Cebu or even Manila comparison. I could find info on that also. But I did live in Matanita and Cebu, so if you want to a comparison, then let me know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.